Welcome back to the Nickel and Dime Football Show. It is time. It is time. It is mock draft time. The draft is Thursday. You checked in with your boys. This is the right place to be. I know you've been hearing about it. This player's going here. This player's going there. We got you. We got you. I'm telling you, tune in here before Thursday night. Like and subscribe. It's the boy Drew, Shawn Suds. It's Nickel and Dime Football Show, baby. Let's get it.
Oh, it is draft week. Shawn, I see you smiling.
Yes, sir.
This is your time. Is this your favorite?
Oh, I love it.
Other than the playoffs when your team's going on, is this as good as it gets, the draft week?
I'll be honest, man. Yeah, it definitely is because for more often than not, we've been in the basement. Like this is our Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like if your team is habitually bad, this time is Christmas because this is the time where all the hope, all your dreams, all the aspirations that you want your team to be, aspire to be, you wish your team was that team. This is where you can dream a little bit. You know what I mean? This is where you can dream a little bit. So yeah, I love this time of year.
This is where the wait till next year's are born.
Yep. Because that one player can make the difference, man. History suggests.
Yeah, and it's never a pick I see coming. Like I remember when we drafted Luke Kuechly. I was like, all right, that's a good pick.
Really? That's what you're gonna do to me? That's what you're gonna do to me? That's what you're gonna do? Mark Barron at number 7 when you could have had Luke Kuechly, the future Hall of Famer. Not better than Devontae Davis.
I'm not saying it happens every time because God knows the Panthers have had their misses over the years. We had a string of first-round wide receivers that did not pan out.
No, they did not. Oh,
remember when
Dwayne Jarrett?
Yeah, when he was the second coming of Keyshawn Johnson, so we got rid of Keyshawn Johnson, aka my favorite player on the team. After 1 year, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and every GM has had, you just mentioned every GM has had their fair share of misses, but some they sting a little bit more than others. You know what I mean?
Would you rate the combo of Hurney and Gettleman as the two worst GMs combined of any franchise?
Honestly, and this may shock you to say this, but no, there has been some very bad GMs out there. And I know if you feel us, if this is how you feel and you can remember, we talking about this and it's just triggering because you're remembering all the bad picks that your GM has made, like and subscribe right now, baby.
I'm sure there's some Washington teams or some Miami Dolphins team fans out there that have some things to say about their past GMs.
Yes, sir.
Choices.
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't want to wait too long to get to the whole shebang, so I just got a couple housekeeping notes real quick before we get into the Suds' mock draft. Started off with your boys, the Bucks doing their thing, restructuring Brady's contract, freeing up $9 million cap room.
Yeah,
they do.
Like they do, magicians with the salary cap, man. Mike Greenberg, you've heard me say his name on this show before.
Does he just turn everything into like taxable donation money? Is that how?
Probably so.
Like Brady really legitimately signed like a 2-year $90 contract, but got like donated $4 million.
Drew, I'll be perfectly honest. I would not put it past Mike Greenberg to have done that. And the crazy thing is, man, is like Jesus turned water to wine, and Mike Greenberg turns money and puts it into the salary cap. Like I don't know how he does it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Every time it's like restructured.
Yeah, and Brady's, he's bound to do that. But the thing about it is I don't know. It's something about this last restructure and something I definitely think this is probably Brady's last year. Like I think he's tired of taking pay cuts, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, or he's gonna go to Miami.
Gangsters don't die, they get fat and move to Miami. Jadakiss said it best.
Yeah.
Jadakiss.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's hilarious. NFL set to play 3 Christmas games for the first time ever.
Merry Christmas. Absolutely.
I love it, man. Chilling at the house, stuffed from all the food I've been eating.
Yep. Got some new gifts. You know what I'm saying? Perfect. Yep. Perfect. Drew, it's got to be. The NFL is just tired of the NBA having a day. Like, if they see you having fun, they getting in on it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm happy about it. You know, like I'll catch an NBA game here or there, but I really don't tune into the NBA till the playoffs kick off, you know, like,
yeah.
But if NFL, like you can have the Seahawks versus the Jets this year, and I'm going to watch it, you know?
Yes, absolutely. They've been doing that to us for Thanksgiving for years. So
yeah. Cowboys and Lions, no matter what.
No matter what.
Giants might make wide receiver Tony available.
That is news to me. Drew just broke news to me on the show.
Yeah, that's the rumblings on the Twitters. The rumblings.
Just 1 year. I mean, like, was that Gettleman on his way out? Like, because you know what I'm saying? Like,
is that just a new coaching regime being like, I don't like this kid?
Yeah, that's I'm not sure. It has to be something a little more smoke where there's fire. That's interesting.
You know how he probably just like, you know, some people you meet right away, you're like, we're not going to get along. You know?
Yes.
Like, I wonder if the coach and the wide receivers coach is like,
this ain't it.
Let's get some draft picks for this dude.
Yeah, that could be the case, man.
Yeah. Earl Thomas wants back in the league.
This is also interesting. I mean, do you think after a year, especially the way that he went out with that Ravens club, do you think he's ready to come back?
That's what he says. He says he's in shape.
I mean, of course that's what he says.
Don't you take all aging NFL players at their word on their physical
I'm
fitness?
in the best shape of my life. You know that.
I lifted like 400 pounds the other day. You know?
Yeah, you see these thighs?
Yeah.
I mean, Earl Thomas, bro. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, but after a year off, I don't know.
That's a position that you don't lose a step, take a year off, and gain it back.
Nah, it's
like,
hard to do.
If that was the case, Revis would have had a longer career.
Yeah, especially for what Earl Thomas was before he took that year off. You know what I mean? He was still playing at a pretty high level.
Of the League of Boom. You know what I mean?
You know what I think it will probably happen with that, though, is, you know, if somebody gets hurt, especially if nobody kind of picks them right up, training camp or
playoff situation.
Or playoffs. Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, that might be at that point you get to skip training camp.
Damn.
You get to skip the grueling years, you know, like
which everybody probably wants to do. Yeah, exactly. And damn, I forgot, but shout to Eric Weddle getting the damn chip, you know, like pulling it off.
Got a ring.
Richard Sherman tried to do it, but it ain't work.
Yeah, it didn't work out. He tried.
Took the L. Yeah.
So, this broke just right after we recorded last week, so it's a little old, but we didn't get to talk about it yet. Deebo Samuel wants out of San Fran.
Man,
that's got to be. Did you not see Lynch's press conference? That man is heartbroken.
I still don't understand how we got here. You know what I mean? Like, is this more of a usage thing? Like, I mean, because he literally did everything. Like, they're gonna have to pay that man according to such.
I think he's scared. He's like, I can't keep playing like this.
Yeah, and good on him. I mean, like, I hate to beat y'all while you're down, but like Christian McCaffrey should be doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Who do you tell? I came up with a clear-cut game plan to extend this man's career, and no one from Charlotte is trying to hear it right now.
Yeah, and I do think that there's a meeting point where you pay this man what he feels like he should be getting paid for taking that kind of punishment. You know what I'm saying? Even though he can take it, I mean, who knows how many hits this year has taken off the longevity of his career. You know what I mean? You never know.
Those last few hits of the playoffs, you could tell he just got up slower and slower.
Yeah, it's 17 games too, man. You know what I mean?
Bears wide receiver Byron Pringle arrested for reckless driving.
I was hoping you was going to say something that wasn't driving after we saw the Henry Rugg situation. You know what I'm saying?
Still
Like,
not learning.
not learning, bro.
That would
Not
be my
learning.
first thing. Like, I'm worth a couple mil. I have a driver now.
Yeah. Or Uber. Like, that is a small chunk of change
Like,
out
I
of
even
all
get
the
being a celebrity. You're like, I don't want to be in an Uber. Okay, get a car service. They've come down in price. I bet you it's not that expensive on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like,
true. True. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't understand it, but good player. I mean, like he'll maybe take a couple games off, but he'll be right back, man. Just get an Uber, bro. Just get an
yeah,
Uber.
yeah,
Don't make us to get off of your lawn. Don't make us to get off my lawn, guys. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like, don't do that.
Running back, Blau Pow. I love that dude's name. I love that guy's name, Blau Pow.
It go nice.
Signs a 1-day deal to retire a Jet.
Good on him. Good on him.
I mean, he's a Jet. Whenever I think of him, I think of the New York Jets.
You know what I think of? I think of him exactly like that as a New York Jet, but always on the waiver wire in case you needed to pick up a running back.
And you could never pick the week he was going to go off. You could never be like, damn.
Damn, I missed it. Yep. I missed it.
Yeah. He was sitting on the bench. And then the last note I got, congrats to Derrick Henry joining the Nashville SC ownership.
Let's go. Always nice to see the fellas make moves.
Yeah, about to have the new stadium, opening up new stadium. It's sold out. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get them checks, man.
Get them checks.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Sudler, I will turn this over to you. This is your night.
Hey, it's our night. It's our night, man. Let's go.
And Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock.
Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock. This pick, obviously, for as Captain Obvious as it is, this pick really dictates the draft, man. I mean, like,
this is hilarious. Like, this
really
is the
does.
first year I can remember in a very long time where I don't know. Like, did we not have a clear-cut winner every year?
Usually it is, and I think, or put it this way, usually it's between two people. Everybody knows which one is going 1 and 2.
There's like 5.
But this time, yeah, it's really between the top 2, honestly. But Jaguars on the clock, they wound up going with
a quarterback,
Aiden Hutchinson. Edge out of Michigan. He winds up being a pick, and I'll be honest, this was one of the ones that came down to the wire that I had to change because I thought that it was going to be Trayvon Walker. Now I'm hearing that it actually is going to be Hutch based on the tape, and they're like the Jaguars are not going by hype and projection. They're taking the known quantity in Aiden Hutchinson.
I mean, he's a scary man, so that's a good pick.
Dude, yeah. I like honestly, I would take it too.
Looking at that man coming after me, but
yeah. Now I could see them. I could see why you want to take a Trayvon Walker because of that upside, but if I'm Jacksonville, I need more of a known right now if I want to get to relevancy quicker. You know what I'm saying? So
understandable. And they went out, they spent some money, they got some pass catchers for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
They franchise tagged their best offensive lineman.
Should have. Yeah. And they got some talent on the roster.
Now, if they can, maybe stop some people from scoring, they might win a couple more games, So good on them for going with that and not going a flashy, best quarterback, wide receiver, whatever, like we're used to in the past few years.
Yes. Yeah. And I hope that trend continues, to put it honest with you, man.
The best player should go number 1 every time.
Yep.
Every time.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, speaking of a team who needs a decent amount of things, where do you see the Detroit Lions going with number 2?
Well, Drew, that fall was not far. Trayvon Walker comes off the board at number 2, edge out of Georgia. We just talked about the upside for a minute. Like the projection of this guy, if he does reach his ceiling, sky high. Like it is sky high. Think of course I'm getting tripped up now, but like a more athletic Calais Campbell. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like
Okay.
he's that big. If they get him with the right guy, he could
6'5",
go off.
270.
Yeah, early,
Woo,
early. Yeah,
woo.
yeah.
And is that what it came down to? 6'5", 270 versus Hutchinson 6'7", 260.
I
Taller
mean,
and a
like,
little leaner.
well,
But
taller
he didn't
and
say he was fat. Like Trayvon Walker was a little bit fat, was
oh
faster though.
yeah, and that's what I think that's where you get the athlete, like the athletic profile coming out. And that's the thing is like the way that the general consensus seems that the way that Georgia played defense was not really conducive to what he does well, or like to
Okay.
let him be
So
the
in the
athlete that
right
he is.
scheme, say
Exactly.
a Dan Campbell scheme,
That's what they're
man might go
hoping.
off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what
Okay.
they're hoping. Yeah.
All right. All right. Nice. I like that. All
Yep.
right. Well, a team that has said they've locked down their quarterback. They said they feel good moving forward with one Davis Mills.
Davis Mills. I'm excited to see it, man. We talked about this
Yeah,
before, but
they re-up his star wide receiver, his guy.
like they should.
They give him some money.
Yep.
Where do you see the Texans going at 3?
Listen, man, they are going Evan Neal, tackle out of Alabama. The big left tackle. They protect their investment, try to protect their investment in Davis Mills, huge athlete, offensive tackle. You know what I mean? Like, obviously has the pedigree coming from Alabama, playing in all those games.
6'7", 330.
Yeah, yeah, and he's a hoss, man. So I think they go with this tackle as tackle number one coming off the board, as opposed to possibly a couple more coming up here. And it's because of like me knowing Lovie Smith. This is why I went with this pick over one of the other tackles, is because I feel like for as many, failures that Lovie has had, he needs known quantities. I just talked about it. You know what I'm saying? So coming from Alabama, I feel like he has that pedigree, and that's what Lovey will covet, knowing that he can get it done at the highest level and without question. You know what I mean?
And in all those high pressure situation games.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yep.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
This is a very intriguing pick because Robert Saleh is doing some things in New York.
He is.
They still are set on their quarterback.
Yep.
They got a few people around him, maybe.
Yeah. Trying to supplement the roster as best he can. You know what I mean?
Still lacking some skill players, so just overall talent, So
yeah.
Could this be where a wide receiver comes off the board here at number 4?
I mean, it would not be out of the realm of possibility. However, I do have a shocker for you. Number 4 on the clock, the New York Jets select Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Cornerback coming off the board. 2019 tape as good as you will find on this earth. 2020 and 2021, maybe not so much, but the thing is like I mean, I don't know if y'all saw the Twitterverse here recently, but they put out that tape where 18-year-old Derek Stingley Jr. was locking down one Jamar Chase at LSU like it was nothing. Like this is that type of guy.
I would love to see that game.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is, another cornerback who shall be coming up here probably shortly, was tabbed to be CB1, but I think NFL teams are a lot higher on Derek Stingley than this other cornerback coming up here soon. Right. And this is a little bit of a shocker, but I really think that Robert Saleh could make this pick because he needs dogs on his teams, and that's the kind of mentality he has. So that's why I went with Derek Stingley.
That is his mentality.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a team who's got the 5th and the 7th pick could package them together and trade down, but we're not playing trades because that's going to get too crazy. All right.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to do that in this draft anyway.
No.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's a big, a lot of players that are kind of late first, but also could end up in like the 3rd round, like.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of
Weird
variance.
draft class.
Well, they said that's where the NFL teams believe the meat of this draft is in rounds 2 through 4. You
Hey,
know
we
what I
got
mean?
one pick through that.
Don't mess it up.
Oh, all right. So where do you see the Giants of New York going at 5?
Well, I think we talked about this a little in sort of a way last week, but talking about building around a team if the quarterback position is not exactly what you want. And I think this is what the Giants are doing because they got a lot of holes on that roster. Giants are going with Ike Ekwonu, tackle out of NC State, arguably offensive tackle number 1 in this class. NC State, shout out to Raleigh.
Hey.
This dude is a road grader. His run blocking is off the charts. Pass blocking, obviously, has gotten a lot better to be this high in the draft. And it was at a baseline, it was good anyway. You know what I mean? So he's just getting better. A little bit more. He's like a little shorter than Evan Neal. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
6'4", 310.
Right. So a little bit more stocky, but that's honestly, he uses that to his advantage. Like this dude is he's a boss. And how crazy is it that the Giants get an offensive lineman when Dave Gettleman is no longer there? You know what I mean?
Imagine that. I hope the Panthers follow that same exact formula. I know they're not going to, though. All right, give me the bad news. Where do the Panthers go at number 6? Because I got a feeling, I don't want them to.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling. Desperation mode. We're going to reach for a player right here.
Off the top. Just pump the brakes a little bit. Okay. Because honestly, I think this is probably where Carolina is a prime trade back candidate. I'm gonna be honest.
That is the rumblings I'm hearing, and I'm hoping for that.
Yeah, they are a prime trade back candidate. I'm also hearing that Carolina not taking the quarterback at number 6. Like this
would be amazing.
This is as of today. Like they really would like to move back. I don't know if they do or not.
Because if they get Kenny Pickett, which all signs are pointing to, if we get him late in the first round and have another couple draft picks to go with it, I'm okay with that. Getting him here at number 6, no way.
Too rich. It is too rich. And I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and just reveal the pick here, bro. But like honestly, y'all go with Charles Cross, offensive tackle out of Mississippi State.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, and I literally had y'all penciled in for Kenny Pickett, and then like today, some things came out that said this and that. Good, like and not only that, but I'm also hearing that Charles Cross is, if you in some people's eyes, OT1. You know what I'm saying? So like this is another class when we got.
It's gonna have to be.
Tip of the cap to you. That's very true. That's very true. But this is Drew. This is another class where a couple of years ago, when the Bucs got Tristan Wirfs, it was 4 tackles that they were talking about at the top. This is going to be another one of those classes where year 2, year 3, year 5, year 10, they're like, damn, remember that class? This guy is now out the league. This guy is multi-million. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is going to be one of those classes.
There.
Yep. So I look forward to that. We doing 7? We ready for
I'm ready. I'm happy with your answer. And nice. We can move on.
Glad I could appease my co-host here, my guy.
The Giants do get this draft pick from the Bears. So that's how they're trading, or that's how they're drafting so close to each other.
Okay. Well, New York Giants back on the clock, and his fall is no more. Arguably CB1 comes off the board.
I love it.
Sauce Gardner.
I am very so much
New York Giants
team Sauce.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to hear that. Not that he's not coming to Carolina, because that would have been dope with him and JC Horn 1-2, but
don't want to see it. Yeah. That's Sauce Gardner coming out of Cincinnati, man. Cornerback, long, lanky, gritty, can play. This dude, he's got a feistiness to his game, and a lot of people love their corners this way, but Man looks like he loves to talk. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying. And
dude,
like he can back it up.
that's how I want my corners.
Yeah.
Talking that trash.
Yeah.
I
So
love it, man. I'll
I really
getting wide receiver one's head. Make him get pissed off. Make him play angry.
and
If he
then make
beats
him
you, then he's a good player.
yeah.
You know, but so many players crumble during that.
Yeah, it almost like it feeds off itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then just keep him down. Just beat a man while he's down. That's what football's for.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
I got resident New York Giants fan and nickel and dime correspondent Chris Mara. Chris sent us a reaction video to your mock draft picks at 5 and 7. So here's what Chris had to say.
What's up, nickel and dime people? So Shawn said, I believe 5 Ike Ekwonu, NC State, and 7 Sauce Gardner, corner from Cincinnati. Would not be upset with that. I would prefer Evan Neal at 5. I also just placed a bet because he's plus 300 to go 5th to the Giants. I think it's really possible. Evan Neal has played 4 positions on the offensive line at Alabama. Left tackle is good with Andrew Thomas. So I think in terms of plugging and playing right away, Evan Neal is really not diverse, but you know what I mean. So I think he's a balanced run and pass blocker, whereas Icky is right now just a dominant run blocker, and I don't care about run blocking. I want my quarterback to not be on his butt 80% of the game. Cornerback, especially if we're going to lose James Bradbury, I think Sauce has the highest floor for all the corners. I still think Singletary has the highest ceiling, but would not be upset with that. But an ideal situation would be Evan Neal at 5, and then the New Orleans Saints trade up both their first-round picks to number 7 to get Charles Cross or whoever they want at 7. And then that way, with those 2 picks in the mid-round, we can also get best player available. And then my dream, Tyler Linderbaum, center from Iowa. He's starting to slip because he's kind of small right now, but I don't care. He's the best center prospect to come out in years, at least 10 years. So that would be my ideal scenario, but would not be upset at all if 5 and 7 we take Icky and Sauce Gardner. This Giants team is a disgrace right now. We need good players at valuable positions. Those are 2 of the most valuable positions besides quarterback on the field. So I agree with Shawn. I don't hate it at all. Go Giants, and Thursday is my Super Bowl because the Giants suck.
Everyone wants to trade. Everyone wants to trade back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just, man, it's just one of those just across the board. Everyone's on a even keel. Like, yeah, you got your players that pop up at different positions, right, but no one's like, I gotta have in this draft.
And that's why I think everybody wants to trade, because there's no truly great players, or we have yet to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, I think Hutchinson's going to be great.
Yeah, and that's why he goes number 1.
Yeah, and I think Sauce Gardner is going to be fantastic. I even think Stingley's going to be great. Yeah. You know, like a lot of great players, not, you know, the Joe Burrows or the Justin Herberts, which is funny because Herbert wasn't even like the gotta have player.
They wish they could take that one back. They wish they could take that one back. No, I love what Mara said, man. I think that he should be excited about those 2 picks. He did mention, you know, about Ike Ekwonu. Listen, y'all drafted Saquon for a reason. And right now, Saquon is a better player than Daniel Jones. So maybe you do need some dominant run blocking instead of a pass blocking. And that's the thing, is I don't think that Ike Ekwonu really projects as a left tackle. Like, he ain't there to take Andrew Thomas's job. They're gonna put his ass on the right side, and that's where he's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it's gonna be. But no, I think they should definitely be happy with that for sure.
I would be happy with those 2 picks if my team was smart and had, you know,
multiple picks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. More shots for the whole draft, you know.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I think we got a 1st, a 3rd, a 5th, and a 7th, 6th. I don't know.
Yeah. It's tough.
All right. Well, Falcons got Marcus Mariota in town, shipped off Matty Ice to Indy. Where are they going at 8?
They are going to Ohio to grab wide receiver Garrett Wilson.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Yeah, out of Ohio State. And I mean, out goes Calvin Ridley, in comes Garrett Wilson. Like, which way did he go? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you're getting a very similar profile receiver. And Garrett Wilson,
Wilson and Pitts is scary, man.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like that.
exactly.
I don't like that at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
I hope Mariota
But they
forgot how to
need it
throw the
though.
ball.
They need it. They
Yeah.
need it. And
I
I think
really
that,
hope Marcus forgot how to throw the ball.
I mean, he can run it too. He didn't, but and I think that like I think Mariota is due for a little bit of resurgence in that Art Smith offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where he came from in Tennessee. He knows what he's getting into. And they're going to be able to utilize Garrett Wilson in a multitude of ways along with Kyle Pitts. And then, next year, if they do wind up getting Calvin Ridley back and don't do anything stupid, Atlanta could be right. You know what I'm saying? But they got to get that D right though.
I like it. I like it. I like
Yep.
it one bit. All right. Well, a team that got this pick from the Broncos because they sent off their franchise quarterback. Rebuild mode. Seattle Seahawks at 9.
On the clock, Drew. And they are taking what over the summer and during the fall people thought was going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. It is Kayvon Thibodeau, edge out of Oregon. They love that he dropped this far. Like, there's rumors, air quotes, rumors about this man's character. And Seattle loves that type of player. You know what I'm saying? So it's a marriage made in heaven. They get Thibodeau, and if that is the case, then he could thrive there. You know what I'm saying? They really have nobody else to focus on except him. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's DK, it's Tyler Lockett, it's Kayvon Thibodeau. That's what it is now.
I like it.
Yeah.
Because what else they got? They got no choice.
That's what I'm saying.
How much longer do you think Pete Carroll has?
If this one goes bad, maybe next year, man. Him and Tom Brady out at the same time.
Oh, that'd be great. Take Belichick with him. You know what I mean? Well, this was the Seahawks pick, but they went out and spent a ridiculous amount of draft picks to get a player.
Yeah, they did. New York Jets on the clock.
New York Jets at 10.
Drew, they are going with Jermaine Johnson, edge out of Florida State, a riser, a transfer into Florida State from
that caught me
from Georgia. Yeah, from Georgia. Wasn't getting playing time, winds up with 12 sacks this year. You know what I'm saying? This dude, for Saleh to come away with Stingley and Jermaine Johnson to retool that defense.
You trying to tell me a defensive guy's going to go defense?
Defense. 2 times.
2 times.
Yep.
2
times. And they need
Robert,
it, man. I mean, if they say a tight end is a quarterback's best friend, but I'd have to argue that the defense should also be the quarterback's best friend, getting that man rest where he needs, putting him on the field when he needs. You know what I'm saying? Like, get it right.
All right. Well, the Washington Winces.
Oh, that's right.
What's Riverboat Ron rolling the dice on at 11?
Riverboat Ron is sprinting to the podium because his boy fell all the way to number 11, Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame, coming to the Washington Commanders.
Poor guy.
I mean, this is a match made in heaven. I'll be honest. Like, if you're Kyle Hamilton and you get to go to this Ron Rivera-led defense, I think this is a great pick for Washington and a solid one at that, because Kyle Hamilton is a beast.
Get a top 5 talent at 11. That's awesome.
Yeah, you love to see it. I mean, if you're Washington, it's funny, but it's funny because I'm using the Draft Network's website for my mock draft or whatever, and they have Washington as the Washington.
Washington. That's
Washington,
the most Washington thing I've ever heard. I miss the football team. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I do too, man. I think that's why they have it like that, is because they're in protest of the Commanders. Like,
y'all are the Washingtons.
They're the Washingtons. Yep.
All right. Well, the Minnesota Kirk Cousins are sitting there at 12.
Drew,
they re-up the man. He's staying in town. So they don't
He
need
is.
a QB. Where they go?
Well, they're investing in him. They're investing in him. Zion Johnson, guard, Boston College, coming up, excuse me. No, actually going west a little bit to Minnesota from Boston. You know what I'm saying? Still up there in the cold. Zion Johnson, probably the best guard in this draft, getting Kirk a little bit of protection. I thought about another wide receiver here. You know what I'm saying? With what's the wide receiver 2?
Justin Jefferson.
Nah, he's wide receiver 1.
Thielen.
Adam Thielen. I could not think.
Thielen about to have a resurgence this year, man. My man's healthy. He's coming back.
That's what you and he hope. Y'all too.
He
Y'all too. But I thought about taking a receiver here, but they go with the guard there, get a little bit more protection.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
Texans.
They get this pick from the Browns.
Yeah.
How did they get this pick from the Browns?
Deshaun, think Deshaun Watson, Mr. 230, Mr. Touchy. Houston Texans, they go with wide receiver Drake London out of USC.
London falls this far. I like it.
Yeah, sneaky good pick, man. Like, I finally got around to Drake London's tape because people kept throwing Mike Evans' name out there, and I was like, I'm good. He's not Mike Evans. My man's he's good. He's good.
Poor man's with Mike Evans.
Yeah. He's definitely a jump ball guy.
He's an unproven Mike Evans.
He's got a lot of shiftiness for a tall guy. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of shiftiness.
You mean to tell me the Texans are walking out of this first round with Evan Neal and Drake London? Get out of here. I hate them already. I hate them so much.
Yeah. Lovey, this is his last chance. He can't mess around. I'm sorry. He can't mess around.
He's in a division that's not that good.
Make good picks. You could be at the top of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, all right. Baltimore Ravens. Y'all finally getting
involved. Could be
involved.
an intriguing pick.
Y'all finally getting involved.
Do they boost through the defense? Do they get a running back in case all 7 of them get hurt again? Where they go?
Bro, it is Baltimore. You know exactly where they going. They going defense.
Linebacker.
They wanted to, but they didn't do it. Jordan Davis, the dog, the bulldog, actually. Yeah, but defensive line, huge hulking guy. Jordan, this is
6'6", 341.
This is a Baltimore pick. Yes,
Ooh.
He is a wall. He's a wall. Yeah, and if you get any type of pass rush with him, perfect. You know what I'm saying? But like dominant.
He's there to stop the run.
Okay. Dominant run stopper.
Well, I mean, when you got to play Cleveland twice, you got to play Pittsburgh twice.
It almost picks itself, Drew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It almost picks itself.
Got to stop that run.
Got to in that division.
Well, number 15 is the Philadelphia Eagles via Miami.
Okay. And Eagles are now on the clock. Philadelphia. Y'all go with, y'all need this. And it may take them a little while to get on the field, but Jameson Williams, wide receiver, Alabama.
I was wondering where he was going.
Yeah. Yep. Jameson Williams coming out of Alabama at pick 15, injured in the national championship game.
So heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was.
Until you realize he plays for Alabama.
He probably would have been wide receiver 1 taken had he not gotten injured, but apparently, and I can see it a little bit in his tape, but this guy is the best wide receiver in this draft had he not gotten injured. Consensus. So for him to fall to 15, Philadelphia needs a consistent wide receiver. You see what Devontae gave you last year. They pair him with his boy, Jameson Williams, from the same school. Now you got bookends, man. You know what I mean? So get it done. Get healthy.
For a team that's been picked on for not having good hands for wide receivers.
Yep.
This is a must.
It is. It really is.
You can't fail Hurts if you don't give him a fair chance.
That's true. That's very true. And I guess kind of getting along to the next pick here, but the Saints are pissed.
The Saints, who got this pick from the Colts, who got that pick from the Eagles.
Yeah, yeah. The Saints are pissed. They wound up going with a tackle, which they need. They wanted to pick a sexy pick, but they go with a tackle. Trevor Penning. They go with Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa. The next tier of tackles after the top three are off the board. But he's no slouch. You know what I'm saying? Trevor Penning is not a slouch. Maybe needs a little bit more seasoning than those other three guys, but this is where we're at with tackles. You got to take the next best one, or the drop off could be too great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Still 6'7", 321. So
yeah,
they can teach him something. I think he'll be all right.
Definitely.
All right. Next up is the Chargers.
Chargers are also pissed now. This is. I mean, it's just a sliding.
Who did they want? They wanted James.
They would have taken Trevor Penning. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Get a little bit more protection. Put him on the right side, opposite. Who was it? Darisol went there last year. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, Slater. That's who it was. Rashawn Slater. Yeah. But either way, Devin Lloyd. They go with Devin Lloyd, linebacker out of Utah, best linebacker in the draft. First one taken off the board at this point, Drew.
All right, you like him better than Dean from Georgia?
So Nakobe Dean I feel like over the course of the offseason kind of fell a little bit, and not Dean, but Lloyd got elevated based on the tape. You know what I'm saying? Even though Dean plays for the pedigree school,
Utah still had a great year.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
they were in the high-profile Pac-12 games, so.
Devin Lloyd was a part of that. He's all over the field, sideline guy. Plays a little higher than I would like the court, but he's a little taller. You know what I'm saying? So
6'3", 237.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So
might get some of those INTs.
Yeah, he could do it.
You'd love to see from a linebacker position.
Yes.
The linebacker gives you like 3-4 picks a year.
Your defense is good, put it that way, more than likely. Yeah.
Well, this was the pick that the Saints swapped with the Eagles. So the Eagles are back on the clock via the Saints at 18.
So Eagles back on the clock. They're out here addressing needs, man. So I got them going with Trent McDuffie, cornerback, Washington. A little, compared to the other guys, like he is not Sauce Gardner. He is not Derek Stingley. But he's
love your Washington guys, though.
But he's a damn good corner. That's what I'm saying. Like he is a damn good corner.
Defensive school.
Yeah, he will get drafted in the first round, I believe. He either goes here or he slips to the latter half. That's what I'm thinking. Especially in this scenario where the other two cornerbacks are going early, he's kind of the next one. You know what I'm saying? So, there's 2 or 3 guys, but those guys won't have far to fall either. I think he's more polished than the other 2 guys, even though he is a little shorter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that's why he goes here to the Eagles. But the Eagles could shock and take one of the other guys if they value length. You know what I'm saying? If they want longer corners. So
I think we're getting a lot of smaller, faster receivers too. So you can have those smaller, faster corners too.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like the Eagles would take him because they don't necessarily like or have had a lot of long corners. You know what I'm saying? They had Nnamdi Asomugha, the shell of Nnamdi Asomugha, and you see how that went. You know what I'm saying? So that was the last one that I can really think of. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But
well, the Eagles got 18 and the Saints got 16 and 19. So the Saints back on the clock at 19. Where do they go here?
They are taking, and they kind of love it because nobody else took this guy, but Chris Olave comes off the board to the Saints. And I didn't want to see this either because Olave is about as smooth as a receiver as there is.
You got to be with that last name. Come on.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that man had baby hair. But I really love Olave's game.
That's what me and Laura call Trey Young. Oh, baby hair.
It's so curly. Yeah. But they give Jameis a weapon. Hopefully, Jameis don't screw it up. But This is a good pick for the Saints. This is a good pick for the Saints. I hate to see it.
I do too. I really hate to see it.
Yep.
Well, a lot of people think that this is where we could start seeing some QBs come off the board. So what do the Pittsburgh Steelers? You're going to tell me they have complete faith in Mitchell Trubisky and they're just going to get him a weapon here, right?
I'm not, Drew. I am not. Pittsburgh Steelers stop this man's fall. This is where the QB comes off the board. First one, I believe, in this draft.
Yep.
It is Malik
Willis.
Oh,
okay. I was like,
of Liberty.
Malik, they go and Kenny.
Yeah, they go with Malik Willis. If they pick Kenny Pickett, it'll be 3 of the same quarterback on that roster. They ain't doing that.
You're right, though. You're right.
They ain't doing that.
I hope you at least put Trubisky a couple levels above Mason Rudolph.
I mean, like, yes, I do, but like, it would be the Spider-Man meme. Like, that's one of my favorite memes.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
you're right.
I
don't know why I don't like quarterbacks that wear gloves.
Is that why you hated Teddy Bridgewater so much?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
It looks off.
It looks unnatural.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Grow your hands, you pansy.
They said Kenny had some small hands, man.
Tiny.
Oh, tiny hands.
Oh man. Where we at? We got
this team crushed it with their number 15 pick, Mac Jones, last year. Where's old Billy and the Patriots go?
They are protecting their investment in Mac Jones, getting a very, very good guard. Could use some polishing, but that is what New England is for. Even though Dante Scarnecchia is not there, he's still consulting. Kenyon Green, Texas A&M. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna stick him at guard, and they lost Shaq Mason to the Buccaneers. They're gonna replace him and get a fresh young body in there. So that's what it is.
All right, I like it.
Yep.
Well, a lot of eyes on this next pick.
A lot of eyes.
Because it's what the Packers got for Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
How do you replace Devontae Adams? And he's already signed the contract, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But how do you make Aaron Rodgers happy here?
I think there's only one way, and this is finally the year that they do it. And so I like this receiver, especially for this team. I don't think they'll go with another guy who I heard could be in this spot in Jahan Dotson. If I'm Green Bay, I want the bigger body receiver. I want a receiver who can do everything, if not one thing exceedingly well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want just a speed threat. I want an all-around receiver,
a route runner, a possession guy.
I want everything. Hell yeah. And that's why they take Traylon Burks, wide receiver out of Arkansas.
6'2", 225.
Yeah. And he looks bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? He looks bigger than that. He can do it all. He can do it all. I want him on my team.
You ever just see a name for a player in the draft and you like just automatically associate them with the team? You're just like, oh, he should be a Viking, or he should be.
Yeah.
When I saw Traylon Burks' name, I was like, he should be a Packer.
And I can kind of see him catching touchdowns and having his name on the back of a green jersey. You know what I'm saying? Green and white, Burks.
Yeah.
Yep. It just fits.
It fits. All right. At 23, Arizona trying to keep their quarterback happy, trying to get him to re-up. Where are they going?
They ain't doing that. I think that they are going with Arizona Cardinals on the clock. Select Andrew Booth Jr., lanky, physical cornerback out of Clemson, pedigree school. I like Andrew Booth's game. I would like him on my team. I'm not going to bullshit you. This is so between we were talking about the other two cornerbacks just a second ago. These are one of the other two cornerbacks. The other cornerback is Kyer Elam, who will be coming off the board here very soon. But I think it's between those two guys. And then, like, when I was at this pick, I actually had to go back and look at tape. And Andrew Booth is the feistier cornerback. He will run up and play the run. Kyer Elam is not really that guy. So that's why I went with Andrew Booth here, because Arizona is known for having they like play defense. You know what I'm saying? Like they've
They
had
like
some good
Clemson
defenses.
guys too.
Yeah. So that's why they went with Andrew Booth here.
I like it. I can see that.
Yeah.
Up next, Cowboys at 24. They lost a couple playmakers, lost some bodies on defense. What are they replenishing here?
I think the Cowboys go defense here, and they get arguably the best safety in this draft, especially as of late, from what I've been hearing. Dax Hill, safety, Michigan, a little bit smaller than one of the other safeties that could be coming up here soon. But just a damn good player, man. This dude, he is feisty. He is rugged. He's a player I'll go on my team. Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
Yes. And I think he'll love Dallas Cowboy fans are going to love him. Put it that way.
I got you. How many Michigan defensive players are going to be in this draft? What do they got? Like 4, 5, 6?
That defense, and I'm surprised they they were winning games, but I'm surprised that they didn't take it all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like with that defense
squad,
it's the offense. It's the offensive back. Yep.
Have a quarterback. All right, a team that doesn't have to worry about quarterback. Buffalo Bills at 25. Can they just really pick best player available here?
And I think they do, man. I honestly think they do. Apparently I looked at their receivers, and I think they like what they have. They invested some assets there. So that's why they go defense here. And they go Kyer Elam. We just talked about it. Like, he may not want to play the run well as much, you know what I'm saying? Obviously he's a football player, so he has to, but
he has to.
But pass defense is his calling card. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what he wants to do, and he can do it well. So I like Kyer Elam a lot. I like taller corners. You know what I'm saying? Taller, athletic
6'2",
corners.
190.
Yeah, that's what I like, and I like his frame. Just like Andrew Booth, he just doesn't play the run like that. So they go with Kyer Elam, and they could hide that in that defense, because everybody else wants to play the run in that defense.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, what do you feel about the Tennessee Titans at 26?
Tennessee Titans are on the clock, and I think that they need another wide receiver. Julio wasn't it last year. Jahan Dotson comes to town, baby. Penn State. Yeah, comes off the board.
Just some great wide receivers in this draft.
It is. It's a deep part of, the class, Yeah.
And I know you love your Penn State guys.
I do. I thought about putting another one in here, but I think he's going to come off the board early in round 2, and Arnold Ebiketie. I think he's coming off the board early in round 2. Could be round 1, late round 1, but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, you've been waiting for it. On the clock at 27. Yeah. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Listen, man, I feel like this would be the pick if he is there. But I am unsure that he won't go earlier than that. But as far like this player could go earlier, but I think it's the scheme is what pushed him down after certain teams didn't pick or they had other needs. I'm going with Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle out of Georgia. That's why I think he is here. There's a couple other teams that could pick him, but they just have other needs other than defensive tackle. And I think they wait another year on that. And that's what pushes Devontae Wyatt down this far. Honestly, like a lot of people think he was the best defensive lineman on that Georgia defense last year, aside from a guy who's coming out next year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we'll see. But Devontae Wyatt comes to the Bucs. Come on down, baby.
I like it. Well, just in case they mess it up at 22, the Packers get a redo here at 28.
Yeah. So they satisfied Aaron Rodgers. They satisfied Aaron Rodgers. If they did that, it would be nuts. I would lose my mind. But they get the Greek freak of the NFL, George Karlaftis, edge out of Purdue. This was another one, like, I didn't know where he was going to go. And then I kind of started to see that green and white. I don't know what it is about the Packers, but like I see whenever I project players to them, I'm like, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
So I
think
that's what,
of like Reggie White. Like could I see this player playing alongside Reggie wearing the Packers?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Karlaftis is a good player, man. You know, uh, is he one of the best edges in this class? I definitely think so. But like, I think out of the top 5, like he's probably 5 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a teams gets back to back here at 29 and 30.
Yeah.
The Chiefs get the 29th pick from the 49ers, who got it from the Dolphins.
I don't know. Chiefs on the clock, Drew, and they are one of the teams in a position where they can go best player available because that they will figure it out, and that's exactly what they do here. They take a pick at a position that they have needed for a while because it's been inconsistent, but they ride with it for a little while. Let this man get healthy. It is David Ojabo, edge out of Michigan. Great pick for them. Hate that he got injured at his pro day. It was an Achilles, so that's why I say like they can afford to take him because like they still have Frank Clark there. You get another year with Frank Clark for now. And they want Ojabo to take his place in a year, let that man get healthy. But I mean, if he's healthy, the type of player that you're getting skyrocket, like it's off the charts. So great pick for the Chiefs. I hate to see it, but he then
little rivalry y'all got brewing there. It's great.
Yeah.
I get to see both sides of
it.
All right, well, they're still on the clock, so
we won.
I guess they just walked back. you had to throw that in there.
I had to. Yeah.
So literally, they're gonna like walk back and then walk back again with the.
Yeah, let's just do a twofer. Yeah, let's just do a twofer. Yeah. Number 30, Lewis Seen, safety out of Georgia.
They need a safety. That's big.
Yeah, and he's a damn good one too, bro. Like he's a good one. I was out on Lewis Seen because like they were projecting him to the Bucks for the longest time, and I was like, I just don't know. And I watched the tape over and over and over again because they kept projecting him, so I had to like force myself to watch it.
Terms with it. Yeah.
I fell in love with him. I think he's gonna be pretty good.
All right.
Yep.
Well, who you got at the defending AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals at 31?
They beef up the offensive line like they should.
Was that a problem last year?
It was a little problem, a little chink in the armor. Tyler Linderbaum, center out of Iowa. His fall stops here.
I was going to say, why the fall?
Well, I just think that, like, you either need a center or you don't.
He is under 300 pounds, though.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a problem?
I think that's what people are saying here more so recently, but, like, his tape is his tape, though.
I thought he was supposed to be, like, top 5 when I first started looking at mock drafts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, due to the specialty of his position, due to him being a little bit smaller, like not everybody's gonna be, on that train. You know what I'm saying? And like, put it this way, there are a lot of teams who straight up go by guidelines on height weight charts. So if you don't meet that threshold, you're off their board. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's the case.
All the worry about quarterbacks and hands and sizes.
It's quarterback. You know what I'm saying? It's quarterback. You throw all stuff out the window when you fall in love with one of those guys.
Yeah. Well, we got our in-house Cincinnati correspondent, Mr. Randy Slack with ESPN Wilmington, and his reaction to that pick.
Hey guys, love the show. Also, yay, congratulations. Shout out to the Bengals for finally figuring out after a half a decade the offensive line sucks. So, good job, guys. Now you'll finally start drafting linemen. Oh, wait. You've been drafting linemen and none of them work out? So either you can't develop them or you don't know which guys to pick. So awesome. The Bengals haven't had a good offensive lineman that they've drafted since Kevin Zeitler. They let him walk in free agency. Before that, it was Andrew Whitworth, who retired as a Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Ram. So yeah, Good job taking a lineman. 3 of the Bengals' offensive linemen this year are free agents. And look, it's good that the line's working. It's good that they're fixed. But the problem isn't fixed. The problem that they don't know how to pick guys. They need to be the Rams and trade their picks. Because unless it's an absolute home run or the absolute home run's best friend, they don't really know what to do.
He acting like they didn't win any games. Like, you ask him.
He's right back. He had his happiness. He celebrated. Now it's back to business.
Yeah, to get that.
And
off
I respect
his chest.
that. I appreciate that.
He is right back. And
he's like, we didn't win.
Good on him, because it's a new year.
We got work to do.
It is a new year. And you know what? Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, trying to put myself in Randy's shoes. Like, once you get like, and you can probably speak to this too, man, but like, once you get that taste of success, I want it to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need y'all to do the things possible to get back there.
I had to watch the Panthers fall apart after going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's I would be, I'd be pissed. I'd be hateful.
Devastated.
Yeah.
Well, he's right. The Rams trade all their picks away. So they traded it to the Lions. So the last pick of the first round on the clock, the Lions from Detroit.
Lions from Detroit.
Who's going to be this year's Lamar Jackson?
It is quarterback Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati.
Not gonna lie, I wanted the Panthers to kind of trade into the early second and get this dude. But hey,
it's gonna be Desmond Ridder. I think honestly, I had them.
Dan Campbell guy.
I had him taking Kobe Dean for the longest time, right? Talking about Dan Campbell, but I had him taking Kobe Dean. And I think that if they're, it's really just like, do they probably have this dude on their board? Yes. But I think also that 5th-year option, man. It's the 5th-year option. You get another year. You get somebody in the system who can sit behind Jared Goff and who is there, hopefully develop in case Jared Goff falls on his face. You know what I mean?
Which he might do. Which he'll probably do.
Yeah. I'm wondering what the probability is on
that. Watch him have a great year. Watch him just be like, I just needed a year to learn the system. Let's do this. Imagine Jared Goff coming out slinging next year.
That'd be super crazy. I don't know if I would be.
And then the Panthers trade for him and he falls apart again.
Oh, again. Oh my God. Bruh.
Well, we did it.
Another one in the books.
Congrats. Yeah, another year of your mock drafts. I can't wait because your accuracy the last few years has been just ridiculous. Like, even if a team moves around, they usually get the person you said they were going to get. So I know this draft is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Probably going to see trades galore.
Yeah.
So just take that into account, guys, when y'all are listening to this and watching it. Some of this is out of our hands.
Well, and that's the crazy thing about it, man, is like with this draft, like the names are going in the first round. I feel like there's about 3 to 4. Everybody has about 3 to 4 guys. So like I did my best to project, but I really like this year is gonna be crazy, man. I love
because this is the year where GMs and coaches get to act like spies. Like reporters come up to him like, who you picking? Like, don't worry about it. What are you talking about? We don't have no picks.
Yeah.
Did you see the Rams? Did you see that thing Matt sent us?
Nah.
Go back and watch that, dude. They made a feature film level trailer about how the Rams are assembling like a Fast and the Furious style team to steal the draft. Shout outs to their social media team.
Wow.
Fantastic. Okay. It's got Tyrese in it. It's you got.
Well, they are in LA. Damn, they spending money. Like whoever their social media coordinator is like, I like my job. This is great.
If you watch it, please share it on our Twitter so other people can check it out. But it is fantastic. But
nice.
Well, that's our mock draft. I can't wait to tune in on Thursday and check it out. I'm pumped. I just love hearing people's names and seeing what teams get what, and I'm gonna be watching the whole shebang, or at least keeping up with it on my phone if I have to leave the house, make a grocery run or something. But
gotta leave the couch eventually. But ding 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 ding, all on your phone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Love it.
going off.
Love to hear it. Well, Shawn, where can they find you on social media to chat up about this draft?
At the Kid Suds on Twitter, at nickel_dime FB on Twitter as well, and at the illustrious nickel_dime football on Insta. Hit us up, man. Like and subscribe. Drew, where can they find you and your content at, good buddy?
DrewHarrisonComedy.com, Laugh with Harrison on Instagram, and Harrison_comedy on the Twitter. The Elon Musk on Twitter now. What is life? What is 2022? Huh?
Yep.
You know what? We got football, so that's all I care about. So
draft weekend, baby.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back in the summertime to start talking teams and division previews, get our season predictions in there. Might have a guest or two. We don't know. We'll see how it goes. But enjoy your draft season, everyone, and we'll see you in a little bit.